Right guys, this is going to be a quick video showing you how to easily solo 2-phase the Kell boss, the final boss in the Dungeon Prophecy, without any pinnacle weapons or raid mods, i.e. taking barrier, taking armaments, taking repurposing. Recently we were told that these raid mods are going to be leaving the game, which is going to be a better, healthier state for the game. Reason being is because you can utilize actual builds now. Okay, so basically these taker mods, they used to take up all your slots, your final slots, and your final slots important because then you can rock War Mine builds, Season of Dawn builds. Not only that, there'll be more mods coming next season, so we'll actually fully spec into it. I never really spec'd in to a lot of the builds. I did with Season of the Dawn mods, but you know, War Mine builds as well. But the raid mods always took over, right? I'm doing something like Pit of Heresy or something like that. I'm going to put on Hive mods. Why not? Infinite Heavy is better than anything, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy for the game. This is, everyone can agree, these type of mods are not only powerful but unique, and people like to actually do a build. So I'm all for it as well. So this is, like I said, going to be the Kell. So I'll quickly give you a brief view of what I'm using, weapons and stuff. I'll end up doing a full prophecy run, no mods, no pinnacles. It'll be in the next couple of days when I'm off work. For now, I'm just going to upload this. It won't be commenting on the full run, it's on the boss fight itself, but this will be insight to what I'm using. So we're using the exotic grain launcher Witherhoard, which is a kinetic version of Anarchy. Not as good as Anarchy, but second to it, and really strong weapon, like one of the best exotics in the game, and it's free from the season pass for this season. So we're using that. We have catalyst on it, so it has auto load and holster, which is a big thing. So make sure you masterwork on your Witherhoard if you haven't already. Then you want to farm up a Gnawing Hunger from the Umbrella engram system in the tower. This is the role I have here. Doesn't matter what role you have, the main thing is that you're just using the one that you like to use a lot, right? And obviously masterwork it so that you can get orb generation. And then we have the Fallen Guillotine. So this is my role. I'm not using Taken Spec, I'm using Boss Spec. Boss Spec is not a raid mod. Okay. So the god role for me for this, there is a role where you can do counter attack, right? But and it'll actually be really good for this. But I'm just using a Relentless Strikes Whirlwind Blade. Sword Master's Guard, so we get the increased recharge rate of sword ability energy. So so we get more heavy attacks basically with this. Then we're running Jagged Edge. This is the highest impact perk you'll get. There is Horned Edge. As you can see, Horned Edge is a little lower. This is the god roll for this. You can utilize like a counter attack one, stuff like that. At the very least, have Relentless Strikes, because you're going to get that ammo. But that's a role I really like. As for the build and what it synergizes with, it's not Nezarec Sin, so I'm using void weapons. So basically void kills increase ability regen, so that includes weapon kills. Okay? This is going to give us more rift energy, it's going to give us more grenade, going to give us more melee, meaning that we have more healing from all this. Generally, right, especially in my previous prophecy dungeons, I'm guilty of it, as a lot of others are, just using the raid mods. You know, I'd be just popping a rift, kill a knight, pop another rift. So that's what we used to do, but want to come away from that, stop playing with it. I advise anybody else who has the Hive, any of the raid mods, to stop playing with them because they're going away. They are going to be in the Last Wish raid, but that's here or there. For your general play, stop playing with them, get used without them. For those who never had them, you're in a better spot than people who have, and they don't realise it, because you trained to not rely on infinite heavy, infinite healing, increased damage resistance. You're actually in a better spot than people who actually are using them. Okay, that's just my honest thing on that. As for mods, we're using a highish recovery build. It's highish. I would like it higher, but I'm using a couple of concussive dampeners, so we have to dial it back for recovery. You just have to do it, but we've still got a highish recovery, and obviously that's linked to our healing rift. So the higher recovery, the better. But you do want to be putting a couple of concussive dampeners on, and they stack. I've got 3 on, because we have no taken barrier, so I've got 3 on. I've also got on double grain launcher ammo finder for Witherhoard. We have enhanced grain launcher on our gauntlets. As for the Season of Dawn mods, we've got Taken Charge with the Lucent Blade. This is on Arc. Okay, so as it states here, while Charge of Light dealing damage with a sword gives you bonus sword damage for 5 seconds, consuming 1 stack of Charge of Light. So, having known that, we want to get a couple of stacks, right? So then we have a solar piece. You must have a solar piece on anywhere you want to fit it. The Season Pass gear is solar. Masterwork that stuff if you haven't picked it up. This was base 66 boots. Okay, so I masterwork that stuff right off the bat. So we have Supercharged. You can have 2 additional stacks of Charge of Light up to a maximum of 5. So this enhances, you know, the whole mechanic of that. Not only that, every time we pick up an orb of light, 'cause we're using Taken Charge, we get 2 for 1, right? So you gain an extra Charge of Light for every stack you gain. So we can get that times 4 in 2 orbs only. We also have Oppressive Darkness on, which gets a seasonal mod and it's going away, but we're using it for now because this is for people who quickly want to do their Solar Flawless and they're struggling with the Echo Kell, because that's probably the hardest part of the whole thing. And this loadout makes it super easy, which you'll see in the vid coming up very shortly. Other things, we had Special Ammo Scarf on for Witherhoard, double sword reserves, like I said, Taken Charge, but that was essentially the build. Like I said, I'll do a full Solar Flawless Prophecy Dungeon coming up with no Pinnacles, you know, the setup that you see, but I'll be using other weapons as well for the first boss, Cube Room, what have you, but that's the setup anyway.
The Nine have given you their answer.